Hi and welcome everyone. I am doing a series called Preparing for Homelessness, and one of the things that I think is important if you're preparing for homelessness is learning about water. Water is probably one of the most important things that you will have that you can consume, because you can't go more than 3 days without water. You can go a couple of weeks without food, but you can't go more than 3 days without water before you're no longer with us. So if you're preparing for homelessness, you also need to be thoughtful of water. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I'm going to stay in a city. That's well and good and all, but the thing is, you're homeless because all of the opportunities in your area are not there. So it would be a wise move to look at relocating to a different area that has the opportunities for the skill set in which you have, which means you're going to have to travel at some point. Okay, you may have to uproot and move to a different part of the country because that's where the jobs are that you qualify for. Or you may have natural disaster, civil unrest, other things like that destroy your city, and so therefore you need to go somewhere else to be able to find opportunity. Because the average person says, oh, when I go homeless, I'm going to go look for a job. Well, what if there is no jobs, especially in your area? Are you just going to stay around and wait till the jobs come back? Or are you going to survive and go to a different area? So if you're going to a different area, let's talk about what you're going to need to travel, okay? Because your food is going to be a completely different topic, and nutrition is going to be a different topic. But a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I need to have a gallon of water. No, actually you don't. Okay, so I am following some information that was given to me by a source that was very trusted. One of the things I was told was that you should never drink more than 2 deciliters of water per hour. Now, if you translate that into ounces, that's no more than 6 ounces of water per hour. Now, you might sit there and go, oh no, the doctors keep saying drink as much water as possible because you're docile, 1. 2, you eat so much that your body, you're just washing out the excess nutrients anyways. But when you're on the move, you are using your muscles, you are sweating, your body is detoxing. Water becomes so much more critical when you are being active and when you are on the move. Whether you're on bike, whether you're on foot, water is going to be critical to you because your body is going through it. Think of it just kind of like your radiator fluid. Okay, that's what water is. And you can only put so much in before you start washing out nutrients. And considering you're traveling and you're using a lot of nutrients and your body can only absorb so many nutrients at a time. I mean, it's not like all of a sudden just sucks it up and there it is. No, it's not like that. Your body only processes a certain amount of stuff per hour per day. And so therefore that has to be included in your diet. And that's where water comes in, because if you're drinking too much water, 1, you're going to be sweating all those nutrients out. And 2, you need to make sure that you have electrolytes. Now, a lot of people go, oh, well, I need to go get me some powder and some stuff like that. Well, you know what? It occurs naturally, including in your food. What it is salt and potassium. If you keep salt and potassium in your diet, that's, you get potassium from potato chips. Okay. Now, there's different types of potassium that your body breaks down better than others. But in the technical aspect, a raw potato has the most potassium, but a banana is got the most potassium for your body to be able to process. Okay, but you want to be able to have potassium, you want to be able to have salt. Also, another thing is, you are going to want to spend $30 on one of this. You can find this down in my description. Okay, these are water filters. Now, there are better quality water filters out there, but if you're on a budget and you're just trying to be a minimalist, something like this is going to cost you around $30. Okay, this will last you 100,000 gallons. It comes with its own kit to be able to wash it out, whole 9 yards. But you don't know what contaminants are in your water, and so you want to be able to filter out as many of those contaminants as possible, because even though the best place to get water is a tributary source. The faster the water moves, the less likely there is harmful bacteria and contaminants that is in it. Especially if, depending upon like how fast the water's moving, is whether you want to go to the top or towards the middle of of the body of water. Okay, so there's a lot of different factors in which you want to consider when going and getting your water. Now, you should not drink more than maybe 2 of these a day. Okay, so about every 5 to 10 miles, you should be drinking one of these if you are rationing water out. The other thing is about water and why you want to ration water out and be prepared to ration water out, because for every gallon you carry, that's 7 pounds. That's 7 pounds, you feel it. Okay, so you need to be able to understand resupply and your water sources and how to be able to get them. So as you're walking down a trail, or you're doing a road walk, or you're just walking, okay, one of the things you need to be thoughtful about is how long until the next tributary source, because there's usually you want to follow some body of water, because that will make sure that you have adequate water, and there's always tributary sources into that body of water, which is what made it a big body of water to begin with. And so what you're looking for is you're looking for the tributary sources and how far apart they are, because that will tell you about resupply. You know, when you're washing dishes, you may be 1 to 2 miles from a water source, and that's the only place where you can camp. And so therefore, you've got to make sure that you've stocked up on water. Not only have you stocked up on water, you've got to make sure that, you know, you've got enough water for drinking, you got enough water for cooking, you got enough water for cleaning. Like this right here, if I fill this all the way up, I will get about this much worth of drinking water. The dog will have to drink out of the stream. The rest of this will be used for cooking and for cleaning, okay? Because everything I have is water-based. So when you're thinking about, you know, how much water do I need? I have a 6-liter pouch, and for me and the dog, if we want to sit there for about 24 hours and, you know, make sure that she has plenty of water, we don't have to go to a water source, make sure I have plenty of water for cooking and for cleaning, it takes about 6 liters just for me and the dog. Me by myself, I could get away with probably about 3 or 4 liters, but with the dog, she drinks about 2 liters of water a day herself, which is a little excessive for a dog. But I let her do it. But you want to pay attention to their bowel movements to make sure that it's not too watery or that it's not too dark, because that tells you their hydration level, and it's usually a day in advance. And it's also something that you can use for yourself as well. Okay, but water and having access to water while you're traveling is extremely important. You want to make sure that you filter it. Now, if you don't have a water filter and you're trying to you're trying to be really cheap about it, one of the things that you could do is you could take a wash rag, a clean wash rag that you have, and you want to grab like a bottle of water, dump it in there, use that as like a filter for like your dissolved solids and stuff like that. And then you want to boil your water for anywhere between 1 to 5 minutes, depending upon how much water you have. And that will kill a lot of the bacteria that is in there, and it will also burn off the chemicals. Plus, you got to let it, cool down for a minute as well. But you can boil your water, and that's kind of how you do it if you're on the go. So you better have something like a twig burner versus something like butane if you're going to do something like that, because it's gonna be a lengthy process. You're going to be spending a large part of your day filtering water versus spending $30 for a nice little water filter. And quite frankly, this Nature Nova is, I really like it. I like it a lot. I think it's one of the best water filters that I've had because compared to the Sawyer, I can take this part off, and there's a dissolved solids filter, and then it's also got the membranes in there that I can also look at. Plus it comes with a smaller syringe, which means it's a lot more compact. Okay, but I think it's like $25 for something like this. But it's totally worth it if you are conscious about the water in which you're getting. You don't really need anything powerful. What you need when you're powerful is like if I'm going up like a major river, especially with all that industrial waste and stuff like that that's going in there, then I'm going to want something that's going to be a lot more robust, something like a Grail or something like that. But right now, at least until the whole world falls apart and a bunch of stupid people go out and contaminate all the water, this is the best way to be able to travel and to figure out how to plan to travel, is you really need to follow bodies of water and look for tributary sources and stuff like that, because as you're traveling, you're going to need to make sure that you're keeping yourself hydrated, because if you don't, you're going to wake up with cramps. You're going to, like, your body will start telling you, okay, I don't have water, and it will start cramping up on you. You better start, loading up on water, drinking that 6 ounces for the next 3 hours, just to make sure to give your body enough time. But anyways, guys, that is what I have on water preparation, water management, and kind of how to navigate with water if you're preparing for homelessness, and the reason why you would want to do that. Now, if you guys have anything to add, I would be more than happy to address your comments, maybe even in another video. So definitely leave me a comment. Become a subscriber if you're not. Also, I'm supported off of crowdfunding, so that's membership. So Patreon is $5, $10, or $20, or you've got $3 over here on YouTube. All of it adds up, and that's kind of how I support myself. So if you haven't considered a membership, maybe you should think about it. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.